Hey golfers, welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in today's video we're going to discuss club face. Okay, there's three critical positions we must be hitting in the golf swing in order to control the direction of our golf ball. We're going to discuss what those three positions are, why we need them, and how a simple cup can really help you achieve those positions. Okay, so if you could, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. The club face is responsible for anywhere from 70 to 80% of where your golf ball is going to start. So if you arrive at impact with the club face pointed to the right, well, that's where the ball is going to start. And the same is true if you arrive with the club face closed, the golf ball is going to start to the left. So it's really important that we get control of this club face to be able to hit the golf ball much straighter. And the three positions we're about to discuss will really help in order to make sure you have the best chance of getting to impact with the club face square. So let's discuss the three positions and how we can do it. There's 3 points in this golf swing we want to be checking where the club face is and making sure that it's perfect. Number one position is going to be the takeaway. So the takeaway is when the shaft gets to its first parallel in the backswing here. Number two checkpoint is going to be the top of the backswing here. And number three is going to be when the club gets to its last parallel in the downswing this way. Okay, so let's discuss where the club face should be in those three positions. So checkpoint number one, club face in the takeaway position. Where do we want it and what is square? When we get into our setup and we get to our takeaway, we want to make sure that the leading edge of the club is on the same angle as our spine. This is going to be a square club face. Okay, now checkpoint number two, after we nail this position, we want to arrive at the top where the leading edge is going to match our forearm position. So leading edge, forearm on the same line. This is again a square club face at the top of the backswing. So checkpoint number three, last parallel in the downswing, we want to make sure we return back to the same position that we had at the takeaway, with the leading edge, that is. So matching our spine here. Now, if we can nail those three positions, you have a far better chance of getting the club face to arrive at the golf ball square. So let's take a look at some of the common tendencies that I see on a daily basis, and the most popular one that I find that golfers really struggle with. So around 90% of the golfers that I teach on a daily basis are probably not achieving those positions. Some might not have any of them, some might have one, two, but very rarely do I see all three. But what is the common tendency that I'm likely to see? Well, let's look at checkpoint one. Most commonly, I'm going to see a club face that is too open in this position. So leading edge or club pointing to the sky rather than being square like our first checkpoint. Okay, now some people might nail that position and they'll get to the top from here, and then now they have an open face position where the toe is pointed to the ground and not matching the lead forearm. But again, somebody could have those two things and still not be hitting the golf ball straight because they're missing from that good checkpoint one, good checkpoint two, and then they're arriving here. And this is probably the most common one that I see, the last parallel, and it's usually in this position because of how it went back, not necessarily this position in itself, but we're going to see a very open face. And the problem with this is so late in the golf swing that it becomes very difficult to try and get the club face back to square. More commonly, leave the club face open and hit it off to the right, but sometimes maybe flip it back and hit it left, and in between those two you're going to hit it straight. But it's the consistency. So as you improve these three checkpoints, you're going to have a lot easier job of getting the face ultimately into this position in the downswing, so the club face can remain nice and square at impact, and as we know, start the ball a lot straighter. So let's take a look at how something like a cup could really help us get a good visual and a good sensation of what it should be like to arrive with the club face square. So I know it's a bit mad I have a club and a cup attached to it, but do give this a try. It is a really good way of getting the sensation of where the club face should be at the three checkpoints. So I want you to imagine the cup is half full of water. So as we go to checkpoint one, what we want to do is be able to pour or tip the water out. You can see that that puts my club face in a very nice position. If I was keeping the water in, I'd have an open face situation, and we don't want that. So water out at checkpoint one. Checkpoint two, top of the backswing, we want to keep the water in again. Okay, If I open the face, the water would pour out and I'd get wet, and we don't want that. So keep the water in checkpoint 2. Checkpoint 3, we're going to go here and tip the water back out again. Remember, checkpoint 3 is to get the club face the way it was in the takeaway. So water would pour out. And ultimately, if you can get there, if you want to try it, go from here and get the cup square to the target at impact. Okay, so do give that a go. It's a bit mad, but it really is good for giving you that sensation, that lovely visual of the water pouring out, keeping it in and then pouring it out again, just making sure that club face stays square and hitting straighter golf shots. So look, hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please hit that like button, please hit that subscribe button, and let me know how you get on in the comments. Did you try the cup drill? Hopefully you did, and if you did, let me know how you find it, and I'll see you guys in the next video.